Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Many people have wondered what in the world do I do with all these crazy hot peppers. Well, today I'm going to show you. But first, let you see what these are. These are some of the hottest pepper that you can grow or get seeds for. And the ones that are not very hot or medium heat, we use it for cooking, to spice up certain dishes, or just to eat them raw. And the ones that are too spicy, we use it for stew, and the majority of the times I use those for hot sauce. Today I'm going to show you how I make my hot sauce. Okay, welcome to my kitchen. I will list out all of the items you will need to make the sauce. You will need 1 bell pepper. The color of the peppers is very important. If you would like a lighter color, then you would want a red bell pepper or a yellow bell pepper with brighter color peppers. And if you want a darker sauce, then you would use a red bell pepper with darker color pods. And the variation would change the way your sauce look. I usually like the brighter colors, but this time it's going to be a mixture, so my sauce will be a little bit of a darker color. So bell peppers, and then hot peppers, whatever varieties you would like to use. I don't have the exact measurement, I just play it by ear, and this is how much I will be using today. A pretty good amount, because I will be making a few bottles. You will need garlic, the fresher the better, apple cider vinegar, some cane sugar, then some salt, and then finally you will need a blender. I use the NutriBullet because it grinds everything very fine, and I don't like to waste any of the part of the peppers, so that's the reason why I use the NutriBullet. Okay, we're ready to start. First, you will need to de-seed the bell peppers and cut out all of the placenta area. I don't like this part because it's kind of bitter, so I like the bell pepper to be as sweet as possible. So I remove all of the seeds and any of the placenta area. And then you can cut it into small chunks. That way it's easy for the blender to grind up everything. Make sure you always wear gloves. This is very, very important. Okay, once we have all the peppers prepared and ready to go, the next thing to do is use a blender to blend it up. I'm using a NutriBullet. What you need to do is add some peppers into here. And because this one is smaller, so it's going to take a few blend to get it all down. We'll just, once it's blended a little bit fine, then we'll add some salt and sugar and some garlic, and then I'll show you what to do next. Be careful when you open this up because the fume can be very, very overwhelming. You don't want to grind this down really fine because we're going to need to ferment this, so little chunks is okay. Okay, then we'll add the garlic. I love garlic, so I'm going to use a lot more than most people, but 4 to 6 garlic for this much is good. The vinegar is going to be the very last part, so we're not going to add it right now. And if you want this to grind up really well, just add a little bit of water. You don't want to add too much. That's about all you need. So you want chunks of this. You don't want it to finely grind down just yet. So this is a perfect consistency right here. I don't have exact measurement, but one bell pepper and a bunch of other Superhots gives you about a little less than half of this NutriBullet. You see the color is kind of reddish brown. It's a beautiful color. Okay, so what we'll do next is we're gonna let this thing ferment for 5 to 7 days. 5 is always the recommended because that's when this ferments really well and it'll bring out all the flavor in this. We're gonna let this settle real quick, and then we're gonna put a plastic wrap on top, something that it allows the thing to breathe. I have some Ziploc bag. I'm just gonna cover this like this. And then you put this away in the dark inside your cabinet or something for 5 days. Bring it out once a day, stir it up, put it back, and that's all you need to do for now. So I'll come back and show you what to do next. Alright guys, here it is 1 day after. So I took it out of the cabinet. And what I'm gonna do is give this thing a good stir, just so that everything get fermented evenly. Look at the texture, very, very nice. Okay, there it is. Now we're gonna close it back up. I'm just gonna leave the spoon in there because we're gonna stir it a few more times. After the first day, you should start seeing little tiny bubbles. That means that the fermentation is taking place. Okay, this is the second day of my hot sauce. Everything is still looking great. It smells wonderful. So let's take this out, uncover it. And then we're going to give it another good stir. Wow, this thing smells really hot. Looks beautiful. Okay. Cover that back up. Leave it away in your cabinet in the dark, and then we'll come back in 3 days to finalize this up. Alright, it has been exactly 5 days. So our sauce is very much ready. So let's open it up and I'll let you take a look. Check that out. Beautiful color. It's nicely fermented. Let's give it a stir real quick. Wow. It smells great and it smells really hot. Okay, then we'll go ahead and add our final ingredients. You will need apple cider vinegar. This is optional. This is basically like a thickener. So if the sauce is too drippy, then you can add this to thicken it up. So make sure you test around with this. I don't really know the exact amount. I don't think I'll be adding it because my sauce seems to be okay. For the apple cider vinegar, I'm gonna add very little of it because these can be very, very strong. So here is 1/4 cup. I'm gonna add about almost 1/4 cup, not completely. So around that much, not completely filled. And then we'll stir this up a little bit. And then we're gonna use a blender to blend this very, very fine. Okay, we'll just close this up. This time we're gonna grind it as fine as possible because we're not gonna strain anything out. We're just gonna blend it fine and then we're gonna use everything of the sauce. We want the consistency as fine as possible, so that's why I'm grinding it a little bit more. Okay, we are done now. Let's bottle this up and I'll let you see what it looks like. For bottling, we're gonna use these. You can get these off of Amazon. For easy bottling, you can either use a funnel like this one here on top, but sometimes it's very difficult to pour the sauce into here. So the easiest way I find to do this is if you have a squeeze bottle with a little top like this. This is what you would do. I just suck the sauce in like that, and then squeeze it into this bottle, just like so. That's the bottle I usually give away, and for the one that I use at home, I like the squeeze bottle because it's easier to pour the sauce out into your food. So there we go, one sauce bottle completed. So that is how I make my sauce. Try it out for yourself, just keep testing and then adjust the ingredients as needed and then try to make a perfect sauce. Okay, here is the completed bottles. I have 3 of these, but these 2 are gonna be going to some friends. Let's test it out and see how good the sauce is. And here is the bottle I made for myself at home. The squeeze bottle is more functional at home because you can easily squeeze the sauce out. It's very simple. These are great for shipping and made as gifts, so because it's easier to handle, and if you need to ship it somewhere, these are great. But for home, I highly recommend getting some of these bottles. Alright, let's test it out. This is gonna be crazy hot. Check out that consistency, just beautiful. Alright guys, let's have a taste and see how the sauce is. This is my personal bottle. Here we go. Wow, this is very hot. There's just a mixture of so many different peppers that you really can't guess what's in there. But definitely you can taste the garlic. The heat is very overwhelming. It's not as bad as eating it right out of the pepper. But as soon as you sort of like squish this around, the flavor and the heat start attacking all over the place. For a small drop, that did bring some heat. These are great for putting on sandwiches. I use it also to make dressing. So when I make some salad dressing, I put a few drops in there, mix it up. Oh man, this thing is really good. So guys, I highly recommend trying some of these out. Make the sauce at home. The reason for making sauce is so that you can keep this much longer. You can also dry them as powder. These are great for powder, and those will last a very long time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and thank you so much for watching.